Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project 365, episode 1078. Guys, if you're following along on YouTube, please jump on over to thewoddoc.com. Check out all of our full-length videos. That's where we house them. What we're talking about today is sandbag overhead squats and using them as a carryover to improve our traditional overhead squats, all right? Now, with the traditional overhead squat, what are we always taught when we go into our fundamental classes? Of course, it's control of that posterior cuff engagement of the shoulder, and we're told the cue is always to pull the bar apart. Feel like you're going to break the bar as you pull apart, right? So if I was to go ahead and get into my traditional overhead squat using a barbell and get into this position, I'm supposed to simulate myself pulling this bar apart. That engages my lats, engages my posterior cuff, external rotators, all the 9 yards, right? And I go ahead and I get my overhead squat in and I drive back up. But the truth of the matter is, if I allow my shoulders to be a little bit flaccid, if I get lazy in this position, I can still do a fairly decent overhead squat. I'm not suggesting it, but I'm actually saying this is one of the things that gets us hurt, is because the barbell is in fact a stable surface. It's a stable, rigid, symmetrical surface. It allows us to kind of get away with it a little bit as we fatigue, all right? Introduction of sandbag, right? This thing is not rigid, it's not symmetrical, and it will collapse on you if you're not pulling it apart. So I think it's a really good carryover to implement into your traditional training regimen, right? So watch this. If I go ahead and get this sucker up here and I get it into my overhead position, all right? Of course my arms aren't as wide, but if I don't pull apart, what happens, right? It falls on top of my head. It starts to collapse inwards. But if I pull apart and I get that sucker stabilized up and over top my head, it makes me keep engagement as I do my overhead squat. So it's pulling me inside. I need to fight that and pull apart, right? So this active engagement, this active necessity to pull the bag apart because it's unstable, because it's not symmetrical, is exactly why I think we should implement this in our traditional training to get better carryover for our stable surfaces. Guys, that's my take on it. Questions, comments, please post them below. And until tomorrow, we're optimizing function to optimize performance.